Welcome back, fuckers. Alrighty, today we're going to finish off the last piece of the puzzle of the Case 1 recovery landing, which is coming in at the 180, going in to our left-hand turn and rolling out in the groove and touching down on the carrier deck, hopefully snagging that sweet 3-wire and yeah, completing your first aircraft carrier arrest. That would be sweet if you make it. If you don't, you can always practice. So last video, we pretty much stopped it right there. Okay, right abeam the ship. So we are at quarter mile to half a mile nautical miles, abeam the ship, and then we're going to continue to hook around and land on the deck. So let's have a bit of a read. Again, we've got the DCS Supercarrier Operations Guide. So this is what they say. In the groove, you will continue to descend in a left-hand turn, rolling out wings level 3/4 nautical mile stern of the ship in line with the angled deck. The phase will be flown based on the state of the IFLOS ball and verbal directions from the LSO. LSO is the landing signals officer. All right, he's going to talk to you. If you got the supercarrier module, you'll hear the LSO talk and call you in if you need to correct anything, and just pretty much do what he says. As we get to when your aircraft is in the groove, wings level, and you have the ball in sight, you should select ball from the A-18C carrier radio menu. There's actually a hotkey bind in the Hornet you can use to save you having to like click shit in the cockpit or take your hands off the throttle and the stick and actually use the radio menu. You can actually just bind it to something, which I strongly recommend. So once we are wings level, 3/4 nautical mile, stern the ship, we're going to say our name, all right, side number, we'll say ball, Hornet ball, and then we'll say our fuel state. LSO will respond with Roger ball, and then he may also make some calls if your aircraft is not configured for landing. If you get a wave off, okay, it means go round, all right, so hopefully we don't get one of them. Wave off gear because your gear's not down, wave off flaps because your flaps aren't configured. So if you're not configured to landing, he's going to give you a wave off straight away. And also he's going to say a couple of other things. So Clara, if you do not have the ball in sight, select Clara from the ATC menu. The LSO will provide the following calls to get you on a glide path if necessary. Your high, your low power, or if you're still not within glide limits when they're quarter mile astern the carrier, the LSO will transmit wave off, wave off, wave off, and the lights will flash red. Clara may be transmitted automatically in some cases when you greatly exceed glide path limits. Ball will be automatically transmitted once you are back within glide path limits. The LSO will respond with Roger ball. Well, there you go. There you go. Learn something new every day. Inside 3/4 mile. So when inside 3/4 mile and the ball call has been made, direction from the LSO is based on your deviation from a localizer centerline and 3 to 6 degree glide path. 3.6 degrees glide path. No direction equals under 1.7 degrees left or right of localizer and less than 1.5 degrees below and less than 2.5 degrees above optimal. So if we're in that little parameter there, the LSO is not going to say anything to us. Right? He's going to just let us land, do our thing. If he says off center line, okay, it means we're greater than 1.7 degrees to the left or right of the center of the landing deck. If he says off glide path, we are greater than 1.5 degrees below 3.6 degrees angle coming into the deck, or we're 2.5 degrees above. Okay, the optimal glide path. Far off center line, greater than 2.9 degrees left or right, and far off glide path, we're getting out of there. So he may respond with any of the following. Your high aircraft is far above the glide path. Your low power aircraft is far below the glide path. Your lined up left aircraft is far left of centerline. Your lined up right aircraft is far right. Your fast angle of attack is too low. Your slow angle of attack is too high. There's lots of things he's going to say. Easy with the nose, aircraft is excessive pitch rate. Easy with your wings, aircraft has excessive roll rate angle, and easy with it, aircraft thrust changes are excessive. So you're like smashing the throttle back and forward. All right. So as he comes on in, we're gonna have he's gonna talk us in and then land. When you land though, okay, you're gonna do not anticipate an arrested landing. So don't just chop the throttles and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to catch that wire. Because if you don't catch the wire and you've chopped your throttles to idle, by the time you realize that, oh, shit, I didn't get the wire, it's going to be too late and you're going to careen off the end of the deck and splash into the water. Okay, so what you need to do, as soon as you get wheels on deck, you are going to punch the throttles to full afterburner All right, and retract the speed brake if you use it in anticipation of a bolter. Maintain max power until the aircraft comes to a complete stop, and then you'll, once you've stopped, take the throttles back to idle. Your jet should roll back a touch, and then you can go ahead and raise the arrestor hook, and you'll be out of the wires. So that is it. And then touch and go and bolters. Hopefully don't do any of these, but the procedures for touch and go landings and bolters are identical. Continue to fly the ball all the way touchdown. Upon touchdown, simultaneously advance power to max, retract speed brakes, and rotate to optimum AOA for takeoff. Maintain wings level and verify a positive rate of climb. Once a positive rate of climb is established and your aircraft is forward of the bow, use a shallow right turn to parallel the BRC, climb to pattern altitude 600 feet, and turn downwind with proper interval with other landing aircraft. So all you do is for a bolter, so you don't actually catch the wire. We'll go back up to this picture here. If you do bolter, and fingers crossed we don't do this, because I'm going to do this shit live. So BRC, right, is the direction that the aircraft carrier is cruising at, and the deck is slightly angled off, okay? 8 to 10 degrees to the left is the angle of the deck. So BRC is 1, and then your the actual landing degrees are going to be slightly less, 8 to 10. So if you come in, you go to land, you bolter, you don't catch a wire, you're going to power back up, okay, leave your gear and flaps down, climb back up to 600 feet, make a slight right turn, so you go back to BRC, fly as soon as you get 600 feet and you're back on BRC, go into a left-hand turn, maintaining 600 feet angle of attack, on speed conditions, hook around, and then go and do it again. Okay, so you just come through, as soon as you get to the ship, do it again. Okay, go again. So you just, if you bolter, make sure that you're actually establishing flight again, climb back up to 600 feet, get back on BRC, hook a left turn, and then rinse and repeat till you actually hit the deck. So that is it. So now we're gonna have a crack at doing this on the fly, real time. See if I can pull this shit off. All right, so I'll see you guys in the jet in a second. Alrighty guys, we are in the jet. We're in active pause. I'm gonna unpause it now, and we're gonna have a crack at just doing this shit on the fly. One pass. If we do a bolter, we'll do a bolter. All right, it's unscripted. So here we go. So you can see my controls there. So again, throttle inputs, keeping it at 600 feet. Got it trimmed to on speed. We're a little close to the carrier, but it's okay. It's okay. 1.1, so we're a little close. So we're gonna have to turn a little bit sharper. So we're gonna go ahead now into our left-hand turn, and let's quickly pause it there. So as you go into the turn, okay, as a rough rule of thumb, you want to be at around 30 degrees angle of bank, and you want to keep your velocity vector here just below. So you want to put the circle of your velocity vector just underneath the horizon line, okay? And you're just going to descend slowly down. So keep this circle just underneath, okay? Just touching the top of that circle there is where you want to do. And then keep cruising around. As soon as you get to the 90, which should be when these two dots are right above the velocity vector, okay, should be around 490 to 500 feet ish, and then you can start looking at the deck at the carrier and line it up by feel. So here we go. Let's do this. Shut the throttle. So remember, pitch control by throttle. And then rolls control by. All right, so shallow the turn out a touch here. So it's just playing it by feel, playing it by feel. Zoom in so we can see the ball. All right, with wings pretty much level now.
209.
Call the ball.
5.6.
A little low. Okay, 4-wire.
Bingo.
Alright, so we should be able to we put the power on. We're going to raise the hook up now. Retract the wings. Nose steering on high. And we're going to get the hell off the deck. So we jagged a 4-wire. Not bad. I'm happy with that, considering that I just literally just fired DCS up. Got myself in the downwind and paused it. And then had a crack at the landing. So we jagged a 4-wire there. And that's kind of how you do it. Again, it's just practice, practice, practice. At first, you're going to crash the fuck into the back of the boat a heap of times. You won't even touch the deck sometimes. You'll fucking slam into the deck other times. You may even hit the fucking island sometimes. It's going to be fucking interesting, to say the least. Alright, but persist, practice, 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 and eventually you will start to get the hang of it. But like I said in my previous videos, when you do a case 1, break it up into each piece. So all of my videos that I've done, each of those are a piece of the puzzle. If you can't do a certain part, so if you can't get check-in right, keep doing it until you can get check-in right. Surely you can get that one right pretty quick. As soon as you got check-in, work on the Marshall stack. Okay, once you've got the Marshall stack down, then have a go at coming in, breaking the deck, hooking around, and coming in to start your initial pattern. If you can get that going, work on the brake turn. All right, if you fuck the brake turn up, climb back up to pattern altitude, do it again. Rinse and repeat until you can put each little piece of the puzzle together. And before you know it, you'll be doing carrier landings, and they won't be such a scary thing anymore. All right, because once you get it, it's super rewarding. Like, it is frustrating. So it's like when you first start learning how to do aero refuels. Okay, when you first start trying aero refueling, you just end up just raging, shooting the tanker down. Come on, we've all been there. Everyone's shot the tanker down. If you haven't shot the tanker down, the aero refuel tanker down, when you've been trying to learn how to aero refuel, have you really learned how to aero refuel? Let's be honest, boys. So it does get better, okay, I promise, but just practice each part. That's the best advice that I can give you. All right, and the last thing I'm going to show you guys is the actual the ball call. Okay, we've got it there. So in the communications category, Hornet ball. So I've got that bound to a button on my HOTAS. So I can just press it as soon as I get wings level, press that button, and it's going to make the call for me straight away. And you heard it when I called it. He was like, Roger ball, and then said nothing because we were pretty much ready to go. All right, and then as we touch down, we got the OK 4-wire pop up at the top, tell us what we got there. And quickly have a bit of a look here at the actual arrestor hook wires. Right, let's get that. Okay, so we've got 1 wire. You don't want to hit that guy. Okay, 1 wire, that's a no-go. 2 wire, 3 wire, 4 wire. So when you do carrier landings, you want to grab the 3. If you hit it okay, if you get an okay 3 wire from the LSO, you've flown essentially the perfect pass. Okay, you've flown the perfect pass to get an okay 3 wire. We got an okay 4 wire, so we're a little, we floated a little bit too much to get the 3, but we were pretty much on glide slope. On glide slope, sorry, and straight down the middle of the deck. And yeah, but at the end of the day, any wire is a good wire if you can catch it. But the goal is to be able to hit consistently 3 wires. If you can just nail and just smash 3 wires all day, you are very, very competent at landing the Hornet on the carrier, right? Very, very smooth around the back of the ship. Righto, guys, I hope that helped. Practice, like I said, and I promise you will be smashing 3 wires out of the fucking park. All right, but you got to stick with it. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be fucking emotional, but you'll get there. So if you did like the video, this is the end of the series of the carrier landings. So if you did, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And lastly but not least, I do stream on Twitch Monday to Friday at Australian Western Standard Time, 1300 or 1 p.m. for the non-military folk. And come on in, say good day, and come hang out and watch us do some DCS things. So yeah, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if last little plug for myself, if you found this shit helpful, share it with your friends. All right, get your friends into DCS because this game is fucking amazing. All right, it is super good, super cool, and for a lot of us, this is the closest we're gonna get to actually flying a military aircraft. You know, a military fighter, to be more precise. Okay, it's a very small selective pool of people that get the privilege to do this for a living. And for the rest of us mere mortals, this is pretty much as close as we're going to get. So yeah, spread the love of DCS, share it with your friends, and get amongst it, get some carrier landings under your belt. Righto boys, catch yous on the next one.